Coming off week, thought we had a good week last week. I did. We practiced with a lot of young guys on Tuesday. So a lot of the old guys had Monday and Tuesday weights, but no practice. Let their bodies heal a little bit. We're still beat up. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning, the old guys, and went ahead and started looking at the next opponent, East Kentucky. Obviously on offense. Had to go back and you have to look at everything. We have. We've looked at everything. What are we good at? Where are we deficient? We got to make some plays. So everything of how you do things. I just think coming off the Austin P week, we said, hey, kind of stay the course. What can we do? Better. But as we came off another poor performance in the last game, we had to kind of. I won't say start from scratch. That's kind of ridiculous. But in some positions you don't have any choices. Some you do. Some there's injuries. So you got what you got. You got to do the best that you can. But schematically, you go to your self scout. You look and see what you've done good up to this point. Where you're deficient. The stats say throw in the game. Stats say. But that's not just on the quarterback. That's across the board. Of nobody's has executed in that standpoint. So. You get to this week, we're just trying to get better, trying to go on the road and get a big win. This league, take Jacksonville State out, is very competitive. Each week you see a bunch of close games, a bunch of late fourth quarter games, some overtime games. I think anybody can beat anybody once you take them out of the mix. And, we're just trying to get win number 4.
Have you made any, when you talk about looking at different things, on your depth chart, have you made any specific changes, and specifically I'm asking about the quarterback spot, I understand it.
Everything's up in the air. When I say everything's up in the air, there's nobody on this offense that's job to secure. I mean, there's not. I told them that. So we'll go back out this week and practice these next 3 or 4 days before we, kind of do anything drastic. So we made some changes last week, gave some other guys some opportunities. Some positions it went good, some positions it didn't. So that solidifies some things. Okay, you're playing the right guy at certain spots, especially offensive line. We made some changes. So those guys have got to get better. They've got to execute on Saturdays when the game's on the line. So, there's no magic formula. There's not. There's no free agents to pick up. Nobody you can make a trade. I'm going back and watching a lot of games from last year and seeing some significant, execution. Now there's some guys missing. Juice, the running back's missing. Crenshaw, the center graduated. A couple of those wideouts have graduated. The 2 they're playing now, the older guys are hurt, Londell and Kalen. So that's not helped. So certainly some combination of some things have prevented us from being, even average the last 2 weeks offensively.
Yeah, I wanted to specifically talk about maybe Dresser getting the starting spot.
All options are on the table.
Yeah.
All options are on the table. We'll know more about that later on this week, but all options are certainly available. Still 5 games left in this season, so a lot sitting there on the table. Mathematically, there's still a lot of things. I just want to put the best team on the field for Saturday, and I'll worry about the rest of it later.
How's the other players responded this past week in practice?
It actually was good. A lot of guys got different reps, move guys around. Sure, there's going to be some hurt feelings, but the tape, shows why we're doing those things. The statistics show why we're doing those things. I think the defensive players appreciated it. Make sure that they know as a head coach we're doing everything possible to continue to win the games. We're not just writing it off, looking to next year or just saying, we're going to win 3-0. No, that's not fair to that staff and to those guys. So it was a good vibe in the building. We've got some good kids on defense that understand things can flip at any time. They just hadn't for these last 2 weeks.
Talk a little bit about Eastern Kentucky. Obviously 1-5, so they're struggling. So talk a little bit about what you expect out of there.
Right now I've been so, like I said, concentrating on us. But I feel for them. I mean, they kind of, we're similar in some things from the standpoint of they had a great showing. They had a good showing against Western Kentucky. They had a great showing against University of Kentucky when they had the lead late. They're playing hard. They're making plays. You know, if you look at their stats, you know, the turnover margin is really hurt them. It's put them behind, you know, in some games. Those are things sometimes you just can't overcome. You got to be a significantly good team to be able to overcome, you know, overcome those turnovers. And I'm sure they're saying, okay, we take care of the football. We have a chance to, you know, to win the rest of our games. Certainly, you know, to beat a team that's not scoring a whole lot of points right now as far as our team's concerned. So, you know, it's kind of a lot of same players from last year to this year that I see carrying over that we played right out here. I don't know if either team is the same team as they were last year on offense or defense, but it's their homecoming, I understand. So they're back at home coming off a, you know, tough loss against Jacksonville State, you know, and the week before against TSU. So, you know, we got that 5-hour trip, but we're looking forward to it. It felt weird not to play this week, so we're ready to get the kids back in the building this afternoon and have good practice tonight. And we just got to get better. We got to get better every period today. You know, every hour on the hour. You know, we've got to get better as an offense.
Eastern Kentucky's got a ton of newcomers. I know not all of them are freshmen, and a lot of them are college
Transfers
from different colleges and community college people. Have you had a chance to look at some of these kids that's been producing for you?
You know, you do and you don't. When I mean by that, right? They're X's and O's as you watch them on tape. Every once in a while, a guy will catch your eye, and you'll go to the roster and see where, you know, is he a high school kid or transfer. You know, we're still comparable. You know, but both teams are very comparable to be, you know, penalties, turnovers, and, you know, execution on critical third down. That's when you're that close, like we all are in this league. That's just like the last two games. Penalties, turnover, make a play will determine whether or not you get a win or you have a long bus ride home.
Do you think this game may end up being another defensive struggle?
You know, yes and no. You know, hopefully we execute better at a higher level on offense. I hope our defense continues to play, you know, outstanding and give, you know, stopping people and keeping their points per game, you know, down. But, you know, West Kentucky throws the football. They got a big back. You know, I know, you know, there've been more throwing than they have run, but they're very capable because they spread you out and make a couple plays in their pass game that flip the field around. And, you know, before you know it, you look up and, you know, they've scored some points against us. So, you know, every game unfolds differently. Just the last, you know, 2 weeks for us have been, unfortunately, on the same page.
Anything else?
All right, good, guys. Thanks.